Okay, we're live. Oh, I'm fighting the common cold. Alright. This, of course, is an election year. An unusual election year in one way, in that the Republican candidate doesn't seem to be getting as much support from usual Republican voters as a Republican candidate usually gets. And in Utah right now, well, it's been a couple weeks now, a week or two ago, there was a survey done of who people are planning to vote for or who they're supporting, and there was an independent candidate or a third-party candidate, I think he's not associated with the party, he's fully independent, who actually is neck and neck with Trump and Clinton in Utah right now. Bizarre. And here's my video of my thoughts about Evan McMullin. Some people call him the conservative alternative to Donald Trump. But I don't see how. We need a conservative alternative to Donald Trump. I'm starting off with my thoughts about him in general, then I'm going to switch to the issues. Well, not that I'm not touching on issues right now. Donald Trump is not proposing any new government programs or new laws, so we would need a conservative alternative if we had somebody proposing, I'm going to start a whole new government agency. But we're not getting that out of Trump. Trump is going to put good Supreme Court justices on. Come on, conservatives. That's important. We need good Supreme Court justices. And moderates listening to this, you'll like Supreme Court justices that Donald Trump puts on. They'll go with what the Constitution says, so you'll know what to expect out of them. And they will respect your rights. Whereas Hillary's Supreme Court might force you to go to somebody else's church. Donald Trump's Supreme Court, they're never going to make you go to somebody else's church or religious ceremony. So I thought conservatism was supposed to be, based on reality, being attached to reality. And libertarianism was detached from reality. And every 4 years, there's a Constitution Party that gives us a conservative alternative. So why not go for that if you really need a conservative alternative? This year, Darrell Castle is the name of their nominee. And one thing that's disturbing, one reason it doesn't make sense to look for a conservative alternative is Donald Trump is not a candidate for bishop or priest or temple worker. So we shouldn't be that concerned about what things his locker room talk. And especially since in his locker room talk he pointed out that a lot of women would want to have sex with a famous rich guy. And guess what? A lot of women would! Where's the controversy? I don't see what's controversial about that. As evidenced by some of the books that have been selling big numbers now. And if somebody wants a constitutional alternative, maybe they don't realize how bad Hillary Clinton is. So, onto the issues, so this doesn't take an hour. Immigration is one of the issues where I had trouble. I didn't have trouble with all the issues and everything Evan McMullin said, but the point of this video is reasons not to vote for him, not a book-length speech about everything that he's ever said. He wants amnesty. He doesn't call it amnesty. He says legalization is not amnesty, but if they get what they came here for, they got amnesty. If we find somebody who steals a Porsche a couple $100 and then give him the Porsche that he stole, he got amnesty. The point of the illegal aliens being here, their goal was to be here. If they get to stay, they got amnesty. He claims that if we deport people, it will require an intrusive, big government that's unconstitutional or that we don't want, or that is a bad idea, but to deport people will not require any new government powers. They're illegal because the law's against them. The laws are already in place. There is already a government agency. It used to be called the Immigration Naturalization Service. That got reorganized when the Department of Homeland Security was formed. And now it is Immigration Customs Enforcement, or Homeland Security's investigations. Those agencies, their job is to get the people out that are not supposed to be here, that are illegally present. If you're going to, claim that's too intrusive of a power, we can't do it, then all laws need to be repealed and all police need to be fired, because it's just what we do to all lawbreakers, what we would be doing to illegal aliens. He wants to deny welfare to these people who are the recipients of his amnesty. He must not have been thinking, maybe the Supreme Court, in one case in the 80s, said you can't deny public school, to illegal aliens. In the 90s, they said you can't deny welfare payments to illegal aliens. They were wrong about that. Illegal aliens have no right to get money out of us or go to school in a country where they are illegal. But a Supreme Court that says that, are they going to let you deny welfare payments to legal residents? That's what somebody with amnesty would be. They would be a legal resident. They would switch from being illegal to legal when they get amnesty, and that would be, it's not going to be denied. And I don't want to deny that to people. I'm 100% behind rethinking who gets welfare, so that only those who really need it get it, and fashion welfare in a way that it does not reward people trying to get pregnant without being married. In the 1940s, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, socialist, extreme leftist Franklin Delano Roosevelt, didn't give, they called them widows' payments, to non-widows at the time. It's so extreme to give a welfare payment to somebody who is not a widow, to give widows payments to people who are not widows, that even he didn't want to do it. The founder of Social Security didn't want to do that. Excuse me. Oh. I'm fighting the common cold. Okay, now, let's see. The most angering thing that I read was him saying how he's going to decide who gets amnesty. And he demanded they speak English. What? Are people that want immigration laws enforced accused of being racist? Even though the immigration laws do not name skin colors. It is if you are living here and you did not get an immigrant visa, you're illegal. That's not a skin color. That's what you do. You go get that visa. Go get that paper. And the visas are not issued based on skin color. There's no law that says we get, this percent Negroes, or this many thousand Negroes, this many thousand Redskin, this many thousand Hispanic. There's no law like that. But to demand they speak English, that's what's racist, or that's what's white supremacist. Demanding English as your criteria, which makes me wonder if Jeb Bush, who says the same thing, and Evan McMullin are white supremacists. On terrorism, Evan McMullin is very disturbed at Donald Trump saying we should think about doing things to the families of the terrorists. But why not? They're supporting them. They are encouraging them to blow themselves up, to go kill civilians. And that kid of that terrorist that just yelled Allahu Akbar and pulled a suicide vest, or Allahu Akbar, and then killed some people, he told his kid he needs to be doing the same thing. He told his kid that if he dies doing that, he's going to get paradise. And his kid, if he dies doing that, he's going to get paradise. Maybe we should think about drying up the well, so to speak. Maybe it would be a good idea if somebody who's being taught to do that doesn't get to enact it. Maybe, something to think about. Evan McMullin seems very eager to reduce taxes. And Donald Trump's talking about raising his own taxes. I'm not a socialist that wants 90% tax rate, or I don't fall for the demagoguery to hate the rich, but Evan McMullin seems, and I'm using the word seems because it was typed out and he wasn't talking, more energized than I think somebody should be to ratchet down the taxes even more. We're not dealing with the 90% and 70-something% taxes that John F. Kennedy had to deal with when he cut the tax rate so that he would get more actual tax revenue. And that worked. And it worked the same for Reagan too. Reagan and John F. Kennedy had the same economic policy plans and ideas. Okay, Evan McMullin denounced Trump University. Trump University offered classes, people came to classes, the teachers were there, no fraud was committed. I don't see what's conservative about denouncing that. Evan McMullin denounces Trump's business success. Isn't that what leftists are supposed to do and conservatism is supposed to praise business success? I don't get it. And he bemoaned Trump's business success came from selling things made in Mexico and China. So what? That's what the laws make the best way to do things. And a CEO of a publicly owned corporation can be sued if he does not take advantage of opportunities to lower the costs for the company or increase the sales price of things. Not sure if Trump's business is publicly owned and publicly traded or just privately incorporated. Either way, Trump has people that work for him. And keeping the business up so they keep their job is a duty that he has. Evan McMullin is for the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which Barack Obama is for. And Barack Obama even told Congress they're not allowed to, they have to give a straight up and down vote and not tweak the TPP treaty at all. So Evan McMullin agrees with Barack Obama about closing down American factories and shipping American jobs overseas. How is that conservative? I don't get it. So, in closing, don't vote for Evan McMullin. He's not the conservative alternative. Donald Trump is conservative enough for anyone with their head not stuck up in the clouds. And one reason I say that is because of how bad of an idea Hillary Clinton is. Because in 8 days from now, the people in the United States of America and citizens living abroad will be voting on who will be the next president, not who will be the next bishop, priest, temple worker. So, thank you for watching. Have a good day.